I'd like to talk about communication. What is communication? I remember when I was in school, I was told that communication is the process of sending and receiving message. You know what I'm saying? So we all like to talk about the communication by calling someone every time and call and asking where you are, bro. Can you come in and hang out? No, communication in the society, communication within the community, communication in the neighborhoods, communication where we live, communication where we work. Communication is very important. You want to say? So communication has got a lot of benefits, and there are a lot of things which happen in our society which are very bad. But that's when you're looking deep about the source of these things, the lack of communication. So communication is very important. Remember that when you got communication within your society, then we're gonna get a lot of positive results, and we're gonna try to avoid a lot of problems which occur within our society, like comic suicide. If you've been hearing about a lot of people, especially where I live here, a lot of people commit suicide in a couple of days ago. But when I sat down on myself and tried to figure out what has happened to them, I found that the problem was the lack of communication. Lack of communication is the key to a lot of things which happen in our society. So when we live in our society, when we work in our working place, when we start in a school, in the universities, in college, we are supposed to have communication. Communication is the key to everything. So when you are died, your mom and your family, you're supposed to have communication with your family members, with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes mom and dad, you can leave a teenager in your family, and you don't have communication with them. So under the day, you find some of them are pregnant. Some of them have already started to use drugs, but you don't know how they've started. But the problem is that you didn't have communication. We know that we live in a busy world whereby we as people, you as parents, all the time are out there on the street and just look for people in order to put food on the table, but also supposed to have time to communicate with your children. Because when you have communication with children, when you have good communication with your dad, with your mom, with your husband, with your wife, I'm sure that you can have a trust in them. So you can feel free and comfortable to express about what you're going through, what are your challenges, what are your problems. But when we don't have communication, I think sometimes we can have fear about expressing what you're going through. So under the day, we say that now we're in a point whereby we're alone. There is nobody who supports us. So what do you want to do? Some of the people who are not strong enough, they can commit suicide. They cannot heal themselves. But when they got somebody whom they can communicate with, it's just about putting hands on the shoulder of the person and say, hey bro, go on. This is simple. These are things which happen in life and can end soon. So when you have good communication in your relationship with your husband, with your wife, also you can understand one another. We have understood, we have heard about different news where maybe a wife or husband has been killed one another. Why? Because they don't have communication. They don't understand about the problems. When you get communication, when you understand one another, you can sit down and solve your problems.